apologize. I had a couple.
Nicole Garcia, we were calling you before. Michael Nowak, page 27M.
Good morning, Honor. Nicole Garcia on behalf of the state of Florida. I apologize. I had a couple calendars this morning.
That's fine. Let me get to the page 27M. Okay. Who is counsel for Mr. Nowak?
David Terrace on behalf of Michael Nowak.
Okay.
And my partner, Betty Ross, is also present on behalf of Mr. Nowak, and Mr. Nowak is present via Zoom as well.
Morning, Judge.
All right. What is this on for? It says motion to increase bond.
Yes, Judge. I did not file a motion. So what happened in this case, Your Honor, is that this is a media case. He was arrested for punishable by life crimes. He should have been held no bond. However, this is one of those charges where the PBL comes in at the very end of the charge, and I think the clerk's office made an error, allowed him to bond out prior to seeing a bond appearance, or prior to going to bond hearing. Somehow I think he was given standard bond of $21,000, $10,000 on count 1 and count 2, and then $1,000 on count 3, Judge. My issue, Judge, is that there's no stay-away order on the case yet. That's why Your Honor asked the defendant to be present. I also am very concerned that the defendant has been essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old, and there's been a lot of...
Since the arrest?
Since the arrest, Judge, he's been very communicative on, he's been very vocal on social media, there's been videos of the victim drugged by this defendant leaked online. Your Honor, on this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm was on the victim's clothing.
Your Honor, may I ask why any of this is appropriate, considering no motion has been filed?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like being ambushed with all of this. This is...
Nor do I, Your Honor. This is entirely inappropriate.
If in fact the state was seeking a motion for pretrial detention, they should have done it. I mean, now as far as the stay-away order is concerned, I can certainly do that. But I just can't go ahead with allegations from the state without giving notice to the defense. I mean, certainly I would hear it, but I can't do this in a vacuum like this. So the only thing that I know that this was reset for, which was advised to me the last time, is that the stay-away order was not properly presented, and I'm ready and able to do that at this time.
Judge, you are the first appearance, Judge, regarding the information that was filed, Judge. He was charged with a total of 6 counts, Judge, and they're all different from the charges except for
Again,
one.
Your Honor, excuse me, I have to interrupt. This is entirely...
Hold on. Mr. Terrace, hold on. Let her finish. Just let her finish. I'll allow you to make your argument. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. He has been charged with 6 counts. One of them is the same, but there's 5 additional counts, Your Honor. Your Honor does have to set bond on those counts. And then the stay-away order has to be set. I will be filing a motion to increase bond. And I understand that Your Honor does not want to be ambushed. I will file that at a later time, but I did want to put the court on notice that with regards to the other bond amounts, I need to be set, Judge.
All right.
So we definitely have to address bond.
Okay, now, did you have a response, Mr. Terrace, and then I will deal with the information.
Yes, Your Honor. We don't. There is no motion pending before the court. The state, no one, our side certainly did not ask for a schedule bond. That was something that the state of Florida decided to place on this case. Those charges were higher charges, and they were downfiled. Doesn't matter that there was more charges that were listed on the information. These are downfiled charges. Mr. Nowak is out on constitutional bond. There's no motion pending before this court, and there's no need for Ms. Garcia to just ambush us with additional information that she feels the court and the media in her speak should hear. So we are entirely prepared to address the motion that's before us. Not another word needs to be said regarding a motion that's not pending before this court. We do and are prepared to address the no contact situation today.
Okay. Now, first things first. First thing I have is an information that's been given to me by the clerk that was filed on September 14th, which was 3 days ago. And again, I have many cases on my calendar. Has this defendant been arraigned on this information?
He has, Your Honor.
He has, Judge.
He has. Okay, so he has been arraigned, and I am looking at, there are a total of 6 counts. I, at this point, do not see that there are any non-bondable offenses. And there appears to be a second-degree felony for count 1, second-degree felony count 2, 3 is also second-degree, 4 second-degree, 5 is a first-degree misdemeanor, and 6 is a third-degree felony. So, have all of the bonds been addressed at the time of the arraignment?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, that's what we need to do as far as that is concerned. And I will. What was he out on previously? Let's just start with that.
He was out on count 1 and count 2 for $10,000 each, and then count 3 on the information was a misdemeanor, so that was $1,000. So right now he has a total of $21,000 bond.
Okay, so 1 and 2. So what was added in the information?
So the counts 1 through 4 are all second-degree felonies. Those were not on the information on the.
Were not originally charged?
Correct. Also, Judge, count 6 is interference of custody. That one also was not charged. Count 5 was charged as count number 3 on the arrest form. So that one should stay $1,000.
So then what was the original 10,000? If you're saying that 1 through 4 was not charged, and then 6 was not charged, then what was the original charges where he got the two $10,000 and then $1,000?
So the original charges was count 1 was engaging in sexual activity with a child in familiar custodial authority. That was actually a PBL, but that charge, when it's input into the arrest form, it looks like an F1. So on that count, he was given $10,000. Then on count 2, it's sexual battery of a victim 12 to 17 years of age. That's an F1. That was another $10,000 bond. And then count 3 is count 5 on the information.
Okay. All right. So as it relates to the new information, the court is going to, on count 1, the defendant will be given a bond of $10,000. On count 2, defendant will be given a bond of $10,000. On count 3, defendant will be given a bond of $10,000. On count 4, defendant will be given a bond of $10,000. On count 5, that will be a $1,000, and count 6 will be $5,000 bond. Does corrections have that? Clerks have that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So he is going to need to post those additional amounts. If it was $21,000 originally, it's now going to be $46,000 additional bond. That's as to that issue. Anything further on that issue, and then we're going to get to the stay away order.
So, Judge, I do think it's important to note that he is a California resident. So I would ask that Your Honor consider that when setting the bonds. Are these standard bonds, Judge?
I do not know what is considered a standard bond on these, but these are the bonds that the court's going to be giving.
Okay. So, no, Judge, I'll be filing a motion to increase bond due to the facts of the case. The other, in addition to the bond, Judge, it's just a stay away order I think that we need to address today.
Understood. All right, anything further from the defense as to the bonds for right now?
Your Honor, I don't see that the state has laid any grounds for why the bond amount should be increased. We
Well,
believe
we're not there yet. We're not there yet. There's no discussion right now. That's not what's before the court. The court just is setting bonds on the new counts.
These counts are downfiled. I just want to make that clear from the record, even though there's more of them.
Understood.
So but we would object to the entire bond amount increasing, considering these are downfiled charges.
Okay. The objection is noted.
Other than that, no, Your Honor.
All right. As it relates to the stay away order, okay. So apparently these are minors. If I can have the defendant sworn.
Mr. Noah, can you unmute yourself?
Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, sir, you can put your arm down. Can you tell me your full name and your date of birth?
Michael Newton Note Jr., born August 10th, 1983.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so you are currently charged under case F21 14438 with several counts involving a minor victim. And the minor victim is identified as T like Thomas, S like Sam. Do you know who that is? All right.
Yes.
Sir, you are ordered that you can have no contact with TS. And when I say no contact, that means no direct contact or indirect contact. Indirect contact includes you cannot communicate with this individual via social media, you cannot call, you cannot text, you cannot reach out to this individual or in some way attempt to communicate through a third person. Do you understand that, sir? All right, now,
Yes, I do.
I will just advise you and admonish you, this means what it says. I do not know whether or not you were given any type of a stay-away order, but as of right now, this stay-away order is in effect, in that if you violate any terms of this stay-away order, that may be grounds for your bond status, your pretrial release status to be revoked, and you will be immediately taken into custody. Do you understand that, sir? Okay,
Yes, I
anything
do.
further on that issue from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from that issue from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that is all that the court has before me. Are we done? Ms. Garcia?
I believe so, Judge. I just want the defendant to be aware that he should not be posting any social media posts or anything about this case, about the victim in this case. I know that there was a video of the victim leaked on social media. I'm concerned about the victim's, well-being regarding this case. So I just want to make sure the defendant's well aware that if that happens, we will be filing the appropriate motions to avoid that from happening.
All right, well, just
May I
so
respond,
it's
Judge?
clear. Yeah, just so it's clear, I just want both sides to know, allegations are allegations. I certainly will respond to some type of evidence shown to the court that the defendant has somehow violated the court's order. Now, let me hear from the defense.
Judge, I just want to make clear for the record as well that this arrest, Mr. Nowak has been compliant and has known about this investigation for far before his arrest, has come down and voluntarily submitted 2 warrants along the way because he has nothing to hide. Any allegations that the state is making about their fear that he might have been tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim via social media, there's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media. And I also would like to make clear that it took the state till 4:56 p.m. on the night before the arraignment to file an information here, and a reduced one. They were so scared, they had ample opportunity to file a motion meanwhile, and they failed to do so. So I don't believe that Your Honor has taken into consideration any of the arguments that they've put forth regarding why they believe bond should be increased, because that's inappropriate.
We're not there. I'm not even entertaining it. So let's not even. I don't even want to hear anything about it because nothing's before me as to an increase.
Well, Your Honor has the ability to set the additional counts at ROR.
Well, I'm not. I can tell you I'm not. Based upon the only thing I have in front of me is an information. That's what I've decided as far as the bond is concerned. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, we would object to Your Honor taking into consideration any of the statements made by Ms. Garcia in reaching that determination.
Okay. Now, however, I do need to just advise Mr. Nowak, based upon some of the arguments. I don't know what is out there that has been posted, but I will advise Mr. Nowak that if in fact there is evidence shown to the court that you have somehow been responsible for submitting some type of social media involving this victim, you may have a First Amendment right, but it is limited. And if the state can show that this was done with some type of intent to either harass or intimidate a witness, that's serious. So just keep that in mind. You certainly have a First Amendment right, but if you do something that in somehow is intended to intimidate this witness, then the court will listen to what the allegations are and what evidence the state has presented. I think that can be the last word on this matter. I have a December 3rd report date. What is that on for?
I believe that was just for the status, Your Honor, case disposition, regular.
Okay, perfect. All right, as of right now, that's the next date that we have on this case, okay? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
take care. All right, bye-bye.
The best that ever did it. The best that ever did it.
I be that more you gon' remember.
The best that ever did
I
it.
be that more you gon' remember.
I'm back.
I be
I'm
that
the
more you
best
gon'
that ever
remember.
did it.
To Harker Bay front line,
Who
to
won
the
it?
law, call my number.
What up,
I
man?
be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line,
What
to
up?
the law, call my
If you
number.
a
Friend of the most,
Good
then you a
afternoon.
friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against
Good
my
afternoon.
prophet, they speak against
Happy
me.
Holy
And they
Day
speak
to all
about
the
the prophet
Muslims
over
all around the world.
who was the first to
Happy
remind you
Friday
and
to
bind you
everybody.
back to Morocco,
I'm
the
going to
mountains,
show you
Mississippi, and
how
Quebec.
to
Told
really
you wasn't black,
dissect
proving
what
it straight
we
back.
heard
Tripping
and
off
what
drugs, you
we
need
got.
tripping off that.
What up,
And
family?
here we go again,
Let's
acting like
go.
you a slave.
Ain't nobody figuring like me. Shout out to Cryptonomics.
Buy European
Shout out
hair.
to
You
East
love
Somebody.
yourself, but do the men really care?
Y'all ready?
Hell no, cause they got a love
Let's
for
get
you.
it.
Whole generation chasing pills, weed, and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember.
Be ready.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler.
Y'all
This
ready?
era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your
Well,
homie,
that
but
kid,
know
man.
that I know every mo.
Let me pause for a minute. I want to say Islam, happy holy day to my brother and my friend Gibbs L in the building. Everybody at work, put on your headphones. Everybody who don't have headphones, put in your AirPods, put in your earpiece, because I'm going to break it down and give it to you in a way that haven't been given to you on the internet yet. I'm not going to sugarcoat a thing. Watch how we start this off. Let's go.
Rocker fans, he ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my.
Now let's get busy, family. I ain't got no time to hold. I ain't got no time to wait. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, man. Salute everybody in the building. We got 1,100 people in the building. I ask everybody to give it a thumbs up, family. I got like 2.5 hours. Then I got to go and get the babies. And then I got to prepare for Holy Day because let me tell you something. This ain't the only thing I do. I got a family. I got a job. And I actually am a grand sheik, a divine minister of the Moorish Science Temple of America, affectionately known as the Noble Temples. And today is that holy day. Normally, I don't go live on that holy day, but the Lord said to me, He spoke to my heart. He said to me, I had made this conviction. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be going live on a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. And so for years, I've been doing this. I've never been live on holy day unless I'm in a holy day meeting. But the Lord spoke to my heart. He said, my child, look at your neighbor, say, my child. If the shepherd loses his lamb in a ditch, and it was a holy day, would he go and get his lamb? And I said, Lord, look at the neighbor, say, Lord. I said, Lord, he probably would go get his lamb stuck in a ditch. So I say, as the information unfold, The people need to hear it. So I got to give it to them today, even though it's a holy day, because the lamb is in the ditch. Look at your neighbor and say the lamb is in the ditch. I got to bring the information out to the people, because I got to help the people. As the Lord helped Daniel out the lion's den, and he helped Gilligan get off the island. So, family, we got to give it to you raw. And let me say this. To this guy here, don't mock the Most High, brother. Listen to me. The Most High gave me my sense of humor. Stop it. Do you know that everything about us comes from the universal divine presence and the divine creator? Even comedy? The Most High know my heart. Or do you know my heart better than the Most High? The Most High know I'm not mocking the Most High. You better stop it. Now let's get back to it. The Most High know our heart. He knows our intentions. Stop it. Stop trying to be the Most High. Tell me what I'm doing to the Most High. You're offending the Most High. I'm going to protect the Most High. And I'm not going to allow you to offend the Most High. As if the Most High couldn't stop my heart right now if I was offending the Most High. You better stop it now. Talk to your neighbor and say, stop it now. Look at your neighbor and say, stop it now. Man, stop playing games. Anyway, family, let's get to it. The one say I'm amped off coffee. I do got some coffee. I don't drink kombucha. I don't drink kombucha to the evening. but I want to appreciate y'all. Thank you, Zeke Skywalker. Thank you, everybody, family. But we got to get busy, family. Listen. So if you're not aware, shout out to my brother Terrain L. You know what I'm saying? That's my good brother, man. I got a bunch of stuff that, man, I got a lot of people that look out for me, that send me a lot of information, man. And I really want to give it to you, family. Shout out to my brother Black Bruce Wayne. Say, salute, Grand Sheik. Stay on his neck, OG. We got you. Salute, Moorish World TV. I hope you have a great and safe weekend. Thank you, brother. Now, before we get started, family, I think it's very important that we demand that my brother, your brother, the king of all of this, Sinetta, if you're watching, brother, I think it's time for you to make a statement now. I think it's time that we as a community compel you to make a statement now. And again, I'm not harassing you. I'm not talking about you. I'm not trying to browbeat you or anybody else. But because you have been connected to Brother Polight, and now the charges are solidified to move forward, I think it's time that you make a public statement as to which side that you've fallen on, considering the evidence. Because at this point, there is no need to be waiting until the trial is done or the trial is complete. It's now our time as a community to look at the evidence and make assessments. We make assessments on everything. People say, Sinetta have nothing to do with this. No, as a podcaster, everybody who make assessments on everything, it's time to make an assessment with the latest information. And I just think that it's time. You know what I'm saying? I heard Sinetta say, and he said it to me personally, that they dropped the charges. And I said, no, that's not true. But in fact, it's true, but it's not what they try to make it out to be. You see, at this point, it's time for everybody to take a position as a community, not as jurisprudence from a European perspective. It's time for everybody to take a position as a community. My position is what it is. Now, let me start off with this real quick. Fam, let's start off with this real quick. We got to do it like this. Let's start off with this real quick. Now, first, we got to qualify what we're talking about. So let's start with this.
Assault charges have been dropped. Assault charges have been dropped.
So we hear Brother Polight says the sexual assault charges has been dropped. Now let's let it play out.
Assault charges have been dropped. Let's start it off with this conversation right here. Again, I won't be talking about the case specifically for all the right reasons. I have legal counsel. They're going to do what they got to do. What we are going to talk about is cyber defamation litigation.
Okay. Now, to my brother Braveheart, he said, so what's Sinetta Garfield, Reggie Nepal's excuse going to be now? Sinetta said the charges was dropped and that DNA wasn't semen. He lied. And this is the point. And this is the point. That if you speak on something and you in error, that we need to hold one another accountable. Somebody say, why the sound effects? The reason why the sound effects is because we want to make sure that this video stay up. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that it stay up. No, we're not going to play it regular. If you don't understand what it said, I just played. You can go to his page at the beginning of the video on IG. You can hear it for what it actually says. But I'm doing it so the video can stay up for educational purposes. All right? All right? I'm doing it just like I'm doing it so it can stay up for educational purposes. Because we already know that Brother Polight has, at the end of the video, he says that he is going to deal with cyber defamation and whatever. Now, here we go. First of all, when you're dealing with any type of defamation of character, this is what's funny. Polight is saying that he's going to start to sue people for defamation. Many people thinking that it's YouTube and it's YouTubers and it's content creators. But what people don't understand is that could be an innuendo or a threat to the victim. And this is why in the video, the prosecutor says that he's been threatening the victim. And also when you look at the video where somebody tried to take claim when he talk about ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun and all of that could be interpreted as a threat to the victim. Also in the last video, if you haven't seen it, go to Polight IG, and he talks about that he can get addresses. He knows he knows how to get addresses, and he don't have to do it himself. He can pay somebody. These are underhand innuendos that could be considered as a threat. And so what the prosecutor says that the victim has been terrorized and threatened. Now, remember, people that looked at this, I was looking at the comment section, and people in the comment section was like, that attorney was not, I mean, the prosecutor was not good. What I'm telling you, I see this prosecutor as setting the stage. And I'm going to tell you how we know that the prosecutor is setting the stage. I don't know how many of y'all have been in the judicial system or had to work through the judicial system and get out. But I'm going to tell you, the way that this prosecutor is working is building blocks. That she's setting the stage. Listen, watch when I play these little clips. She's actually setting the stage. I'm telling you, she's setting the stage. She's not presenting everything because she know that video is public that they did today in court, and the future videos will be public. But what she present in court will be very different than what you see in public. This prosecutor is not playing. I'm going to show you why with the charges in a minute. You know what I'm saying? This prosecutor is not playing. And if you listen closely, the prosecutor said that in speaking with the victim, she's in constant communication with the victim. You know what I'm saying? She's in constant communication with the victim. So I'm telling you, y'all better learn how to play chess, not checkers, because if you ever Somebody said why she didn't file paperwork. Why she didn't file paperwork. Initially, we don't know the behind the scenes things. The prosecutor said that the charges was improperly filed in the beginning. Did anybody catch that? She said it was improperly filed in the beginning. In fact, she said, looking at the charges, these are PBL crimes. She said the initial charge was PBL crimes that should have a no bail until you have a bail hearing. A PBL crime is crime punishable by life. You follow me? So she said the initial crimes was PBL crimes. You follow what I'm saying? Y'all got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. Somebody say Zion Lex broke down Polight charges, shows how they are just as, if not more serious. Absolutely. And Zion Lex is right by that. And I'm going to show you in a minute. Zion Lex, if he said that, I didn't see the video, but if he said that, Zion Lex is exactly on point. What the prosecutor did was the prosecutor adjusted the charges to ensure a conviction. So for Polight to say that the sexual assault charges was dropped, no, listen. In understanding law and being accused of a crime, there's a family of crimes. When you're dealing with sexual assault, you got lewd and lascivious acts, you got rape, you got molestation, you got, y'all get my point? These are families of crimes to be accused of. You feel what I'm saying? They are families of crimes. It doesn't take away from the sexual assault when you look at the crime of lewd and lascivious or lascivious acts to or molestation. It doesn't take away. It doesn't take away. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't take away. Now, before I get into some of these slides real quick, what I want to explain to you, it's crazy to watch Polight playing this ignorant Black conscious community card. This is the same card that we see the guy that used to be on this channel playing right now to remix. He's playing that same card. And Polight is playing the conscious community card. He's going live and he's saying, the sexual assault. Polight, you need to shut up. You need to shut up. You need to stay off the internet. The DNA is going to hang you, but you're going to hang yourself. I don't know if that's a part of the strategy with his defense attorney, but I'm telling you, it's not a good look. It's not a good look when someone accused of crimes of this magnitude to keep going live, even if they're going live with something that's not even associated with this. You are giving the jury, because everybody's going to be watching it. You are giving the jury, you are giving the prosecutors, you are giving the gallery, you are giving them way too much personality. Arrogance can connect to people feeling like they're entitled. When people are arrogant, most times they feel entitled. And entitlement relates to I can do, I can say, I can violate, I can move how I want to move because I am entitled. Everybody is not dumb. I don't know why this conscious community thing. This is why I'm separating myself from that. I don't even want to be associated with these people because I don't even want you to think that I have the intelligence that's equivalent to this people over here. Our people over there is crazy. They really think that they are able to mumbo jumbo themselves out 4 or 5 felonies that only work on 125th Street. That only work on YouTube. That works with Inky to talk his way in circles. No proof, no nothing. You know, I will never make a video about him right now because I got bigger things to do right now. And if people want to buy a fake C Moss, then go ahead. I'll get back to him later. You know what I'm saying? But it's amazing that people think that they're going to mumbo jumbo talk their way out of it. They convince idiots that they are right, and they think they're going to convince educated intellectuals and intelligent people with some mumbo jumbo. Because that's all it is rhetoric. That's all it is rhetoric. And this is, listen, this is the same rhetoric in the conscious community that allow people to get swindled. Listen to the Polight video. Listen to Inky video in response to the video I put out. It's the same. It all sounds the same. It all sounds the same. It's just a different conversation, but it all sounds the same. And it's sad that people actually buy into this crazy misinformation. But with that being said, family, for Polight to say, let me screen share real quick, because like I said, I don't have much time today, but I want to give you a true update. Shout out to Zion Lex. I heard he gave an update. I'll be checking that out in the future, sometime soon. So look, this is the original charges, right? And the original bond. Remember, we was looking at this. We was looking at this earlier, and we thought that he was paying $1,000 bond, when in fact he was paying. He had 10,000, 10,000, and 1,000, and all together he paid 21,000 in bond. Which, if he paid 10%, I guess that would be 2,100. You know what I'm saying? Hey, family, let me tell you this. Somebody said, don't bring up Inky name. He's not on trial right now. I will bring up any name I want to because all of it is associated with mumbo jumbo manipulation. So if you don't want to learn, you got to go to another channel. It's all the same. It's all the same. The funny thing about it is that they're using this same type of mumbo jumbo that is done on the conscious community. Now they're trying to use it in the legal system. So I can bring up who I want to. You can just turn, right, family? Now I want you to learn. I want you to learn. It's the same type of foolish language is what I'm telling you. It's the same foolish language that don't make no sense, but people are swayed by it. But only ignorant people are swayed by baseless arguments. Only a fool will come on social media and say, the charges has been dropped, and not clarify what he's talking about. In other words, to say that the charges are dropped, but not say that I am now facing and prepared to deal with XYZD. You ain't got to go into the conversation of how you're going to do it, but without clarification, it's the same old HOK. What I want to say, it's the same old HOK 125th Street, conscious community mumbo jumbo. It's the same old stuff. But now, you're trying to run this stuff on people that know law, and you're doing it across the internet. Unbelievable to me. 1 second, family. Give me 1 second. My son is calling me real quick. 1 second, 1 second. All right. That was a little Taji. Like, I can't pick him up. He gonna have to walk home today. You see, Taji gonna have to walk home today from school. He ain't too far away because I got to get you the information. You see what I'm saying? He got to walk home today. Yeah. He left me shop. Yeah. So he got to walk home today because I got to get you the information, family. I got to get it for you. He understand. He got football practice tonight too. That's why I get up out of here. Then I got to pick my other baby up. Oh, that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get to the point. Now, so, the misinformation from the beginning was that he only had $1,000 bond, but in fact, you only seen the $1,000 because they just posted the lowest amount. You know what I'm saying? But in actually, in totality, it was 21,000. You follow me? It was 21,000. Now, let's slide on down real quick. So let's get to the original charges. I can't understand for the life of me how. Let me share this real quick. I can't understand for the life of me how the Polight fans could go for that. Polight would say that the charges was dropped. Okay, these are the charges that initially was set at the feet of Polight. Engage in something, whatever that stands for, sex, basically with a child, 14, sexual battery, and contribute to delinquency of a minor. These was the original charges. Now, these were dropped. In fact, they were dropped because this was more appropriate. You follow me? Because this was more appropriate. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over that in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? Because this was more appropriate. With that being said, how in the world would one say that dropping 2 charges and adding 5 is a win? How could one fix their mouth to say that they dropped these charges and now I have these charges and that's a win? You follow what I mean? In fact, no action means they're not pursuing that degree of charges. How can one say that that's a win? And guess what? I got to speak on it. Sinetta went along and repeated and said they dropped the charges without looking into it. And we're going to break it down in a second. So the first charge is lewd and lascivious molestation of a child, right? Now, in Florida, let's deal with that real quick because I'm going to show you that this is not a win for Polight. It actually doesn't look good. Lewd and lascivious molestation criminalized criminal sexual interaction with a child younger than 16 that falls short of lewd and or lascivious battery. It's still saying that if he claims that the victim consented, it's still, you hear what I said? It still criminalizes it. So there is some indication that there may have been, let me blow this up so you can see, there may have been an implication that one said that the child consented. Y'all hear what I'm saying? There may be implication. This is why the prosecutor adjusted the charges. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Press 1 if you understand what I'm saying. This is why, because there's a possibility. Lewd and lascivious molestation criminalizes consensual sexual interaction with a child that is 16 that falls short of lewd or lascivious battery. This is why it was adjusted, because it implies that that might be a criminal defense. But now, definition of lewd and lascivious molestation under Florida State Statute 800-4, 5. The crime of lewd and lascivious molestation is committed when a person intentionally touches the breasts, genitals, or buttocks of a child younger than 16 in a lewd and lascivious manner, and encourages, forces, or entices a child younger than 16 to touch another part in a lewd, lascivious manner. So you remember when we read the police report, it says that he touched her breasts, her thighs, or something. And we could go back to that, allegedly, according to the police report. You see what I'm saying? The words lewd and lascivious are synonymous, mean the same thing, and are defined as wicked, lustful, unchaste, lascivious, and sensual intent on the part of the person doing the act. Strict liability crime. Lewd and lascivious molestation is a strict liability crime. The reason the lewd and lascivious molestation is a strict liability crime is to counteract the commonly raised defense. Here we go. It's to raise the commonly, you hear what I say? It's to counteract the commonly raised defense that the child's real age was unknown. Thus, the sexual activity of the child was unintentional. That the child consented to the sexual act. That's putting the responsibility to the decline the sexual act advance on the child. Thus, putting the responsibility to decline the sexual act on the child. Do you see where this is going? Do you see where this is going? So what I'm telling you, there is an implication that there's a possible implication that the defense may try to present that the child consented or the child age was unknown. And this is why I said that the prosecutor adjusted the charges to be consistent with the defense that could be presented. You feel what I'm saying? You follow this. So, in other words, what the prosecutor is doing is crossing her T's and dotting her I's. That's what the prosecutor is doing. It's not that she's dropping the sexual battery because she doesn't believe it happened. She just, as Peace Wealth says, she's making an adjustment. She's making an adjustment. If somebody want to believe I'm taking shots at Side Netter, I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying everybody need to come clean. I don't care no more. Don't nobody call me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm dealing with the truth. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to speak on something, and if you're going to make a statement to say that the charges was dropped, then I think you need to come back and make a statement and say, I apologize. I was wrong. I don't care what y'all think about me no more. I'm going straight with the truth. I'm going straight with the truth. I don't know what Side Netter think about the case. But if he made a statement on the case and said that the charges was dropped, I think it's coffee and cushion the building. I think it's only right that he come back and say that you know what, they wasn't dropped, and this is what it is, and this is my position on it. You can't speak on something and not have a position on it. Let's stop playing now. I don't care who you want to protect. I don't care no more. I do not care no more. I'm telling you. I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with the truth. I'm going to report the truth to the people, and that's just what it is. I don't care no more. You can say that I'm riding with Inky this week. I'm riding with Polight next week. I'm riding with Side Netter this week. But in fact, I'm only riding with the truth. I don't care what none of y'all say. Don't call my phone crying. Don't send me an email crying. I ain't listening to nothing. I'm going to focus on the truth for the people. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm focusing on truth for the people. And he said, but you did Inky dirt. Inky is dirt. And I won't be speaking on him no more. So don't mention him. I'm not speaking on him. We got bigger things to do right now than to debate how we're going to manipulate people to sell what's that stuff? CMOS. We got bigger things to talk about here. We're talking about Polight today. You know what I mean? Coffee and Kush say press 1 for the truth. He said press 1 for the truth. Everybody, Coffee and Kush say press 1 for the truth. It is what it is. Now, here we go. Here we go. Salute to everybody. El Crisp in the building. Thank you, sis. So let's get to it. Let's get to it real quick. So now, these charges, let me get back to the charge I meant to do. My bad. I was losing myself for a minute. Let's get back to the charges real quick. So it says the penalty. It says the penalty, right, for these charges. Let's look at that real quick. Let me get it. It said the penalty for lewd and lascivious molestation are determined by whether the offender was an adult or a minor, and also by whether the child victim was under 12. Right? Watch this. The penalty is determined by this. Lewd and lascivious molestation by an adult on a child under 12 is 25 years. Lewd and lascivious molestation by adult on a child 12 or older, but younger than 16. The crime of lewd and lascivious molestation by a person 18 or older on a child that is 12 or older, but younger than 16 is second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years. 15 years in prison, 15 years of sex offender probation, and a $10,000 fine. All right? So at minimum, Polight is still facing, now listen, he still is facing, according to this charge, 15 years. Right? Now, I don't think we need to read much more of this. But let's try this one. Lewd and lascivious molestation by a minor or child older than 12 but younger than 16, because that the what she fits in. The crime of lewd and lascivious molestation by a person, or that's the person that's committing the act. So I don't think we need to go in there. And I think we're good right there. So when you look at all of these, and I'm just going to freestyle it so I can give it to you real quick, but you can go look this up yourself. I'm actually going to put the link in the chat because, you know, we do the qualification here. Are we going to talk about the DNA in a second? We're going to talk about the DNA in a second. So you say, we all said the DNA. What happened to the DNA? We're going to talk about the DNA in a second. Hold up. In fact, let's talk about that right now. I'm glad I do my show interactive. You know what I'm saying? So hold on one second. We get back into the timeline in a minute. Where did the prosecutor mention the DNA earlier? Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can find it real quick. In the beginning of the video, I played the full video. I played the full video, and the prosecutor mentions the DNA. You know what I mean? And she said semen. This is what the prosecutor said. So you have to go back and listen to the beginning of the video. But let's look at this real quick.
My issue, Judge, is that there's no stay-away order on the case yet. That's why Your Honor asked the defendant to be present. I also am very concerned that the defendant has been essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old, and there's been a lot of...
Since the arrest?
Since the arrest, Judge, she's been very...
So the prosecutor is saying that since the arrest, that the 14-year-old victim or her parents actually has been reporting that she used the term terrorized via social media. You see what I'm saying? And this is why it was a need for a continuance from Wednesday to Friday to try to get a stay away order.
Communicative on, he's been very vocal on social media, on, there's been videos of the victim drugged by this defendant.
Now, listen, we haven't seen it yet. However, the prosecutor says there is video on social media of the victim being drugged by the offender. Did y'all hear with that? Did y'all hear that? Press 1 if you heard that. She said that I haven't seen it yet. She says there is video on social media. Now remember, she is a prosecutor. Remember, she has the burden of proof, and she probably has a copy of this video. What's up, Amexa Moore, Indigenous Nolans? That's my bro in the building. Thanks for all your support, big bro. Thanks for all your support, big bro. You hear what I say? Okay, somebody say play it back. Listen again.
There's been videos of the victim drugged on social media. Judge, she's been very communicative on, he's been very vocal on social media, on, there's been videos of the victim drugged by this defendant leaked online. Videos of the victim drugged by this defendant leaked online.
Stop right there. The only way that that video can be leaked is by the parties that was there. Whatever that video she's talking about, I don't know. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The only way that video can be leaked is by the parties that was there. It cannot be leaked any other way. And I refuse to believe that this prosecutor will put her career on the line claiming that a video exists and it doesn't exist. I don't believe that for nothing. Listen, if a prosecutor would do that, she's throwing away her entire career. I don't see the likelihood of a prosecutor would make that type of assessment that she cannot produce proof. I don't think that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I told somebody said the prosecutor is weak. I said, no, you better pay attention. You better pay attention. This lady, the prosecutor, Ms. Garcia, she is setting her ducks up. She's setting these ducks, and she's only putting out what she have so far to compel the case to go forward. She's not putting out what she has for the slam dunk. Do anybody understand how the judicial system works? They don't put out what they have for the slam dunk until they write up on the court. They don't put the slam dunk right now. They don't put the slam dunk right now. So I'm trying to tell you. Here we go.
Your Honor, on this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm was on the victim's.
Here we go.
DNA showing that the defendant's sperm. On this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm. Your Honor, on this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm. Your Honor, on this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm was on the victim's.
We do have DNA showing that the victim's sperm was, that the offender's sperm was on the victim. She said sperm. Look at go back to Africa. Go back to Africa. You're very suspect with this statement. Most prosecutors are not going to make bluff statements because they can lose their career in saying things like that. That doesn't make sense. That's not a bluff statement. I don't know if you hear, I don't know what reason you hear or not. To say that there's videos on social media of someone being drugged, a prosecutor 9 times out of 10 would have to see that in order to repeat that. Her career is on the line. That's not a bluff statement. She can be held to that standard. So I don't know. Are you in Africa and you don't know the law of the judicial process of and the level of standard you must be held to? But no, when you make a statement like that there is, that's definitive. Where there is video on social media, that's no bluff statement. She said there. Let me do it again.
My issue, Judge, is that there's no stay-away order on the case yet. That's why Your Honor asked the defendant to be present. I also am very concerned that the defendant has been essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old.
Listen to her words. Listen to her words. Y'all got to listen to language. She says, listen.
Essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years concerned that the defendant has been.
She says, listen to the language. She says, I'm concerned that the victim has been terrorized on social media. When she says I'm concerned, that means there's an indication that there is some form of agitation. That doesn't mean that she can prove that at this point. She says she's concerned. And whenever you're dealing with the judicial process, you really got to listen to the wording. You can't go with the conscious community mumbo jumbo. You have to really listen to the wording. She says, I am concerned. It means that she can't prove it, but there's a possibility that it exists. You follow what I'm saying? Now listen, watch this.
Essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old, and there's been a lot of...
Since the arrest?
Since the arrest, Judge, she's been very communicative on, he's been very vocal on social media, there's been videos of the victim drugged by...
She said there's been video. That's definitive. That's definitive.
This defendant leaked online. He's been very vocal on social media. There's been videos of the victim.
There's been videos of the victim. That's a definitive statement. In fact, what she's saying is she's seen it. You got to remember she's a prosecutor. She's a prosecutor. There's been video leaked. That's definitive. That's a definitive statement. That's not, I'm concerned that video was leaked. That's a different type of statement. If she would have said, I'm concerned that video was leaked on social media, that's a whole different type of statement. But she says, there has been video. I'm trying to tell you, break it down.
Drugged by this defendant leaked online. Your Honor, on this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm was on the victim's.
You see? So what I'm trying to tell you, family, is that don't get caught up in the social media black consciousness community mumbo jumbo. They are trying to maintain followers while these Europeans or the system is going for blood and you playing around on social media. You are out your mind. Watch this. You are playing around on social media and they taking, man, you are supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to be quiet. This is a serious case. In fact, with all the charges, there is a strong possibility that these charges are equivalent to over 50 years in prison. That ain't a win.
Assault charges have been dropped. Let's start it off with this conversation right here. Again, I won't be talking about the case specifically.
He literally just said the charges were dropped, as if these charges are gone away. And when I'm telling you, he has been charged with two, let me give it to you real quick. Two of these charges this one here, let me see if I can, this one here, number 1 and 2 carry 15 years apiece. This one right here, if I'm not mistaken, I know number 4 carry 5 years. You follow me? These are full felonies, second-degree felonies. This is not a come up. Like I said, the original charges right here, the bottom two most likely was too vague. Or most likely too vague. Let me read this comment real quick. It said the prosecutor using very misleading language. Polight has not mentioned the victim online. This is why the prosecutor said, listen again, Lupin. Listen one more time.
Ask the defendant to be present. I also am very concerned that the defendant has been essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old.
This is why the prosecutor, that's not misleading language. She says, I'm concerned. You don't have to mention the person's name to imply. It's called an implication. I don't know. Listen, this is why many people should not break law of any type. Now, this is an unacceptable breaking up the law, but you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't rob, you shouldn't sell dope, you shouldn't steal cars, you shouldn't do nothing because you don't understand the language of law. That's not misleading language. She said exactly what she said, and it's definitive that she's concerned. That's not misleading. You got to understand how people speak in courtrooms. That's why she used the term, I'm concerned. What Black Rain said. She stated a strong opinion of fact, a concern based on her belief. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know why we got to explain this, family. You know, we know what concern mean. I mean, concern don't mean that it definitively happened. But there's a concern that it has or could or was happening. Anyway, let's go to the, wow. Is that hard to comprehend? Hey, but salute y'all, family, because you helping it. And the reason why I keep going over it, because I think it helps us to even learn better of the process of this judicial system and how they're going to pursue this. You know what I'm saying? And on the flip side, we know that Polight is going to continue to do videos, and he's going to speak in a way with a forked tongue. So in other words, the judge actually tells him, give me 1 second. Let me get a video real quick. I think in this video, the judge actually tells him, let's try this one real quick. Let's try this one.
And there appears to be a second-degree felony for count 1, second-degree felony count 2. 3 is also second-degree, 4 second-degree, 5 is a first-degree misdemeanor, and 6 is a third-degree felony. So,
that I wanted to play that. So, when Polight said the charges was dropped, how in the world do, whether it was Sinetta, whether it was Nepal, and I'm only telling the truth, or Garfield, and all these other platforms, and I'm telling you, I'm not attacking anybody. How do they come and make these statements? And go on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube right now, and you will see at least 20 videos repeating that the charges was dropped. I was looking at my brother MREC TV. He got it. Let me see. This is crazy to me that no one wants to do their own research, and this is why we fall victim to scammers. I mean, watch this. This is,
I'm Eric Perkins with the Perkins.
This is a channel that I watch. And I'm going to show it to you real quick. This is why I'm going to give it to you. This is why I'm going to give it to you. Everything I give you, I'm going to qualify. I don't care if somebody try to remix it and twist it. I'm going to qualify everything I give you. Look at this right here. Look at the bottom of this. Brother Polight. And I guess that would imply it's a quote. 2 charges have been dropped. Now I'm suing YouTube commentators. New charges added. But that would imply when it comes out the gate that 2 charges have been dropped. When in fact, at the end, he got new charges added. But in fact, this is the first thing that people see. This is the first thing that people see. And it gives the implication. Watch this. And I'm not knocking MREC because I like what he do, especially the spooky hours. Polight charges dropped. Watch this. And I'm going to just, listen. Polight's charges dropped. Feds watching y'all. Polight rape charges dropped. Polight charges dropped. Polight's charges dropped. Charges dropped in brother Polight case. Now haters have to pay. You see this? Polight charges dropped. New charges added. He's suing. Y'all see this? You see, Polight got on and said that the charges was dropped. And all over the internet, they're repeating what Polight said as opposed to doing their own research. And this is what I'm telling you about the conscious community. The moment that one person says something, everybody ride with it. And they don't even look into it. They don't even look into it. Unbelievable to me. And wonder why people can sell you fake seaweed, fake kelp, fake kombu, fake, and all of this stuff. You wonder why people can sell you fake trinkets. You know what I mean? This is why people can sell you fake products. Because you don't do your own research. You don't do it. Soon as someone says something, you fall for it. This fool, man, I'm not even going to get into it. Let's go to the next slip. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, I guess it is a next slip up. Now, here we go. Now, let me share this real quick. We ain't going to be long today, family, but I got to get it all out today. I got a little bit more time. So look, the crime of lewd and salacious molestation by a person 18 or older on a child under 12, Oh, that was the one I just read. My bad. We already went over that. The crime of younger than 18 is a third-degree felony punishable by up to 5 years. That's the 5 years I was telling you about. Now, this right here is the charges that, and you can go to this website right here. This is the charges that originally was what they call the P&L, punishable by life. Now, right here, sexual battery, it say victim less than 12 years old. But when you go to look at the statute, you will find that sexual battery, it covers a wide range. On the internet, they just put victim less than 12 years old, but it covers a wide range. And for Polight saying that they dropped what was the first one again? 1 second. The sexual battery, engage in sex with a 14-year-old. Well, lewd and salacious acts is pretty much the same thing. It's just quantified and qualified. So it gives you a bunch of, and I just screenshot just a little bit. I can send you the link if you want to go look at it under the Florida codes. But it gives you a real, let me get it bigger for you real quick. It gives you a true breakdown. I'm talking about, it gives you a laundry list of convictable. Let me see if I can say it. It gives you like so many options to secure a conviction under lewd and salacious acts. You feel what I'm saying? It gives you a laundry list. And under hold on. Under lewd and lascivious acts, it gives you a laundry list of sexual battery because it's in a family of sexual battery. You follow what I'm saying? But it's still sexual battery. It's still sexual battery. And what I got highlighted here is physically helpless means unconscious, asleep, or for any other person physically unable to communicate, unwillingness to enact. Y'all see what I'm saying? This is what I was telling people when the prosecutor in the beginning, people's like, the prosecutor weak. I said, oh no. The prosecutor is covering all bases. You know what I'm saying? The prosecutor is covering every angle. So then when you look at number 8, sexual battery means oral, anal, or vaginal penetration by or union with the sexual organ of another, or anal or vaginal or vaginal penetration of another by any other object. However, sexual battery does not include an act done by bona fide medical purpose. That's why a fake doctor, Dr. Polight, And Dr. York couldn't get away with this right now. Dr. Inky, he couldn't get away with it right now. Can't say I'm a doctor on this one. Victim means a person who has been the object of sexual offense. Physically incapacitated means bodily impaired or handicapped or substantially limited ability to resist or flee. You feel me? This lady, the prosecutor, is covering all bases. You feel me? She's covering all bases. I'm trying to tell you, she's covering all bases. And so just because those 2 charges was dropped, 4, or rather 5 was added to ensure a conviction. This ain't no joke. I don't know why one would come and comment. And let me say this for a second. My channel is an educational channel. So I just want you to know that any footage that I use, anything that I use, I want to let you know that I want to enforce my rights as not only as a YouTube content creator, but I want to enforce the rights of copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for the fair use for purpose of such criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in the favor of fair use. I want to put that out there real quick. Also, I want to put out parental advisory, explicit content, because we are talking about something as it relates to sexual misconduct on a minor. And so, I don't want the beautiful young ears to be affected, although I don't jump out the window with a whole bunch of foul language, and I don't jump out the window with a whole bunch of nonsense that I wouldn't say in front of my children either. So, and I have children all the way from 2 to 23. So that's what it is. With that being said, let's get back to it. That's right. Somebody said lascivious. And let me just see. I be butchering that word, man. Let's go again.
Lascivious.
Lascivious.
Lascivious. Lascivious.
Lascivious. Lascivious. So I butcher that word, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Lascivious. I got to remember lascivious, 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 lascivious. Family, we're going to learn a new word today. Lascivious. Lascivious. You know what I mean? Lascivious. Shout out to Cryptonomics. Lascivious. Shout out to Cryptonomics. We're going to learn a new word. Let's learn a new word. Lewd. 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 Let's get into it, fam. Let's get into it. Family, we got 1,700 people in the building. I got about 30 more minutes. Can we get 1,700 thumbs up in the building? And could you, as they said, thanks for all those who hit the Cash App. I don't come on here and say, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. But what I do is, I remember Sister Dolores would always tell me, put your Cash App in, put your Cash App in. And so that's what I do. I put it in, and I thank all of those in advance that does hit the Cash App, because again, I'm going to tell you what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Let me tell you what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm supposed to be working on a job right now that will probably take me a few hours, but I put it aside. I put it aside so I can give you a true update, because I've seen a lot of misinformation. And normally, as I said, I don't go. Normally, I don't go live on Friday. So I even put the job on the side that I have. In fact, I should call them live and show you that I ain't playing. I put the job on the side, you know what I'm saying, so I can go live. And that's guaranteed money in the bag, guaranteed money, but I chose to go live. And so anybody that hit my Cash App, I thank you, because it really takes the place of what I would be making right now if I went and do this job that I got on home maintenance. You know what I'm saying? I do maintenance, home improvement, property management. So, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't nothing critical. So I actually could put it aside. You feel me? I mean, oh yeah. So you're lying. The bond wasn't increased. Absolutely, YK. The truth, it was, my brother. And I'm going to show that right now. Let's get into it. Let's get it into it.
Then what was the original charges where he got the two $10,000 and then $1,000?
So the original charges was count 1 was engaging in sexual activity with a child and familiar custodial authority. That was actually a PBL, but that charge, when it's input into the arrest form, it looks like an F1. So on that count, he was given $10,000. Then on count 2, it's sexual battery of a victim 12 to 17 years of age. That's an F1. That was another $10,000 bond. And then count 3 is count 5 on the information.
You hear that? One more time.
Charge. Then what was the original charges where he got the two $10,000 and then $1,000?
So the original charges was count 1 was engaging in sexual activity with a child and familiar custodial authority. That was actually a PBL, but that charge, when it's input into the arrest form, it looks like an F1. So on that count, he was given $10,000. Then on count 2, it's sexual battery of a victim 12 to 17 years of age. That's an F1. That was another $10,000 bond. And then count 3 is count 5 on the information.
So what she's talking about right there is the original. She's talking about the original. The bond has been up to $46,000. And if you go to the beginning of this video, I played the entire video of the court proceeding. And the judge actually inside, I can't go back now, but the judge, absolutely, YK, the truth. If he got the 10% clause, he will pay 10%, which will be $4,600. That you're right about that. YK, the truth. I hope you don't think that I'm against you. I'm only for the truth, brother. And I'm not going to be one-sided with the truth. I'm not going to be one-sided with the truth. We're going to report the truth as it is. We're not going to sugarcoat it. So yes, so now he has a $46,000 bond as long as it remains not paid in full. Because you also can get a full cash bond. There's certain stipulations that can be given with bonds. There can be a full cash bond. There could be a 10% bond. I mean, you know, that I don't know that part. I don't know that part, but the original was 21 and now it's 46,000. And in fact, hold on one second. In fact, well, let me say this, Hanif, let me show Hanif. Hanif says it's 10% of 46,000. Hanif Muhammad, all bonds don't work like that though, because they can ask for the full amount. I think we don't know that. And I'm not going to speak on that yet because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But most likely, normally, like Hanif said, it's 10%. But they can say we want it in full. See what I'm saying? They can say we want it in full. So let me get right here real quick. So now, hold on one second. I'm getting the call coming. See, it's a work day, so I'm getting calls coming in, family. You know what I'm saying? So work with me. So here we go. Let me see what I got here. So let me do a recap real quick. Thank you for the super chat, Black Rain. So here is the original, I mean, not the original. Here is the charges that they have been adjusted to. These are adjustment charges. You follow me? So the original charges here on the bottom that they're no longer pursuing at this time. No action just means that they're no longer pursuing them. Now, but here is four, these three are second-degree felony, and this one is a third-degree felony, and then he got a misdemeanor. And so for Polight to say that the charges have been dropped is really misleading. And all of these channels that are saying that the charges was dropped as if Polight got some sort of win is truly out of their mind. They're truly out of their mind. And I don't understand how that they could go live without researching and finding out exactly what's really going on. You follow me? Now, I got to play this real quick. Let me make sure I played everything. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see what this is first. I want to play one last thing.
And there appears to be a second-degree felony for count 1, second-degree felony count 2. 3 is also second-degree. 4, second-degree. 5 is a first-degree misdemeanor. And 6 is a third-degree felony. So, and there appears to be a charge. And
So I don't want anybody to get a misunderstanding of what I'm reporting. You see what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to get a misunderstanding. I'm going to cross all T's and drop and dot all I's. I don't want anybody to get a misunderstanding what I'm important, because I don't do no embellishing. I ain't got time. Come on, man. We like grown up in here. We ain't got time to be embellishing. For what? For what? Somebody said, what do second degree and third degree mean? The only difference is between second degree and third degree is the sentencing guidelines. So a third degree felony would maybe mean 5 years, as I went over earlier, and a second degree would mean 15 years. A first degree would mean 25 years, and it would imply that there's a different set of standards that need to be met for first degree, second degree, and third degree. You know what I'm saying? And then the sentencing guidelines change too. You see, like first degree would definitely mean that the sentence is a little bit higher, and the standard need to be met. Like someone got intentional, premeditated, et cetera, et cetera. That's all. But the thing is, the prosecutor, anybody that understands the judicial system, what the prosecutor is doing is setting themselves up to ensure convictions. They're not being bashful and like dropping charges. No, they're making adjustments to make sure that they get a conviction. That's it. And as you heard, the prosecutor said that there is semen, there is DNA known as semen on the victim. This prosecutor ain't playing. I'm telling you, ain't no right way to do wrong. Don't break no law. I'm trying to tell you right now. Leave them people alone. But this is, listen, in the reality of it, there is no grown man, 37 years old, should be in a situation or a set of circumstances to even be accused of something like this. It shouldn't happen. I remember when my grown sons, raising my grown sons, and one of my youngest sons, Taji, everybody met Taji. So in the neighborhood was his little crew. You know what I mean? Like the Little Rascals, their little crew. Little girls, little boys, everybody. In the neighborhood know everybody. And little young girl, I guess they was probably about 9 years old or something. And that was my son, little Taji. That was his road dog, quote unquote, if you will. And then they was all friends. You know how little children do. And they would ride bikes together, play in front of the house. She moved out the neighborhood now, but she would always say, and I knew her father, me and her father was pretty cool. Her father worked a lot and she'd be out there playing. And she'd be like, Can I come in and play Xbox with Taji? I'd be like, nah, you can't come and play Xbox with Taji. I said, y'all got to play out here. Make sure y'all stay in sight so I can see y'all. Don't run in front of the traffic, because she was living with her grandmother too. The point that I'm making is that in this day and time, you don't even put yourself in a position for these things to even be nothing. You just don't put yourself in these positions. I would never let nobody children in my house without their parents. I would never let my son go in anybody's house without me knowing their parents, and I know that their parents are going to be supervising. I just never do that. I never would do that. You know what I'm saying? I remember my father, before he passed, he used to work at a school in Baltimore City. And I used to do a lot of evictions, right? I used to do a lot of evictions. I used to get a lot of clothes. And my father used to take the clothes, and he was the custodian in the school. And so he used to take the shoes, because children in his city had bad shoes, no coats and all that. He was taking the shoes and pass them out. And I used to tell him all the time, I'm like, Pop, man, stop going into school passing this stuff out. Man, they're going to think something going on. He was like, you stupid mother. These are my children. I give them what they want and what they need. They got the shoes falling off their feet, and you just want to throw it away. I said, man, I ain't going to throw it away. I'm going to throw it in the donation box. He said, no, I seen the child the other day with the shoes falling off the feet, and you got some shoes that you're going to give away. I'm taking it to the school. And my father would take all of this stuff to the school, and right in the hallway, he will help the children put on the shoes and all that. And I used to tell my father that we in a different world right now. You know what I'm saying? My father wouldn't hear me. And fortunately, he was actually praised for it after he passed away, because the principal and all the people in the school knew that he was looking out for the children. And in the school to this day, they have a hallway named after my father, who passed he went in cardiac arrest while driving, and he passed a few years ago. But the point that I was saying is that this is a new world. You know what I'm saying? This is a new world. My father ain't go by the new world rules. He look out for them children like it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I go by the new world rules, because you never know the games that people might play. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't understand how Polight ends up into a hotel room with a 14-year-old late at night, and the 14-year-old intoxicated, and end up with semen on her. You follow what I'm saying? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. How do you end up into a hotel room with a 14-year-old and she got semen on her? Like, for anybody to defend that, and the prosecutor just said that they have DNA that's semen. How do you defend that? There is no way that you can defend that. And even if Polight go live and say they dropped the charges, and you follow up and say the same thing, that's a problem. So if Sinetta did say that, then I think it would make sense that Sinetta will come back and say something to the contrary. It just makes sense that now Sinetta, the burden is on Sinetta. If he's going to move his platform on integrity, the burden would be to come back and say, listen, I was wrong. They dropped the charges, but they made adjustment with new charges. That would only make sense. and somebody say he took the video down. Even if he took the video down, he already put it out in the universe. He already put it out in the universe. And I don't take no sides with truth. I don't take no sides with truth. It's the truth and the truth only. That's it. Let me show this last video real quick, and I'm going to open up the lines for a second before I have to get out of here. Let me show this last one. This is the one that really blows me away. Watch this.
So I just want to make clear for the record as well that this arrest, Mr. Nowak has been compliant and has known about this investigation for far before his arrest, has come down and voluntarily submitted 2 warrants along the way because he has nothing to hide. Any allegations that the state is making about their fear that he might have been tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim via social media, there's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media.
Listen to this.
Order saying that victim via social media. There's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media.
Y'all hear this? His attorney said that, listen closely to this statement. This is very, to me, this is a bad statement right here. Listen to this real quick.
Via social media, there's no order saying that in tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim is making about their fear that he might have been tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim via social media. There's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media.
I hear what he said. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, that I want to say it right. Let me rewind it one more time.
That he might have been, because he has nothing to hide. Any allegations that the state is making about their fear.
Any allegation that the state is making about their fear.
That he might have been tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim via social media. There's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media.
Notice he did not say that's not true. He did not say we will address that later. He said there is no order for him not to use social media, which could be translated that even if he's tampering or intimidating a witness via social media, there's no order in for him not to be on social media. That's not a good look. I don't know if that's what he meant, and to the attorney, if I'm wrong, it is what it is, but this is how it comes off. And again, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but listen to how this comes off, though. Listen.
Making about their he submitted 2 warrants along the way because he has nothing to hide. Any allegations that the state is making about their fear that he might have been tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim via social media, there's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media. And I also would like to make clear that it took the state.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, look, somebody say that's courtroom. Listen, that is not court. You don't make a statement like that. I don't understand what courtrooms people have been in. You don't make a statement like that. You leave that alone. Listen, you leave that alone. If you're going to address it, you say yay or nay. No, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't say, well, any allegations that was made that he could have been tampering with, or, and I'm paraphrasing, that he could be intimidating a witness via social media. There is no order that he can't be on social media. I'm just saying, from an attorney perspective, an attorney's yays be yays and noes be noes. And you know that. Now, let me say this. Would that affect the court case? Probably not. Somebody say, is he a lawyer or are you? Listen to what I'm saying, the right box. Would that affect the court case? Probably not. What I'm talking about is the state of mind of the attorney that's representing Brother Polight. We're talking about a mind state of the attorney. We're not talking about that would be damaging. We get to see into the psychology of the attorney for just a little glimpse. And if that represents the psychology of the attorney, this is going to be a heck of a case to watch, is what I'm saying. This is what I'm not saying that that's the end all and be all the case. I'm saying that for him to make that statement, that this is going to be a heck of a case to watch. That's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody understand what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with that making or break the case. Press 1 if you understand what I'm saying. Press 2 if you don't. That what I just showed, it does not represent it's going to make or break the case. But to make that statement right there, it gives you an inside look of the psychology of the attorney, is what I'm saying. You follow me? That's all I'm saying. And if we're going to examine something, the first thing you want to examine is the inside thinking of the prosecutor, the inside thinking of the attorney, and the thinking of the offender, who is Brother Polight. That's what we look at first. You follow me? That's what we look at first. Now watch this.
Till 4:56 p.m. on the night before the arraignment to file an information here, and a reduced one. They were so scared, they had ample opportunity to file a motion in the meanwhile, and they failed to do so. So I don't believe that Your Honor has taken into consideration any of the arguments that they've put forth regarding why they believe bond should be increased, because that's inappropriate.
We're not there. I'm not even entertaining it. So let's not.
Judge, I just want to make clear for the record as well that this arrest, Mr. Noah, in the meanwhile, and they failed to do so. So I don't believe that Your Honor has taken into consideration any of the arguments that they've put forth regarding why they believe bond should be increased, because that's inappropriate.
We're not there. I'm not even entertaining it. So
you know what's crazy? That the attorney start putting forth an argument that they haven't qualified why the bond should be increased. The judge says, oh, no, we're not doing that. Because there are new charges. They are not the same charges. So, of course, if they're not the same charges, and there is actually 4 more charges, then of course there will be a bond increase, a bond adjustment. But the attorney made the statement that they were so scared that they waited till 4 o'clock in the evening. This don't look good, fam. And this is just my uneducated bleacher side assessment. This don't look good, fam. You understand what I'm saying? It just don't look good. Anybody have to deal with the judicial system and understand the effectiveness of counsel? It don't look good with the DNA. It don't look good with the mentality of the defense attorney. It just don't look good. It just don't. Let me put the link in here, man. I give people some comments, man. Again, I appreciate y'all, family. I just wanted to give a true assessment of what's happening and the mentality of this case. But I'm telling you, if maybe that's the attorney's strategy or something, I don't know at this point. I don't think we have enough to conclude that that's the end all be all. You know what I mean? Because I'm just looking at the mentality, because maybe we need to go and do a expose on the attorney and see. That's what I'm gonna do next. We're gonna go and look at the attorney and see, you know, what's his history like. You know, that we're gonna see what's the history like, and yeah, we can do that. I think we can do that on here to look at. Anybody want to come in? I just put the link in the chat. I have about 15 minutes. So come in and you can make your comments short. Let me clear this out real quick. Remove this from the studio. Family, did y'all enjoy this presentation? Could you I mean, we use press one. People say I got it from Cab Gills, but we've been doing this for a long time, as well as Cab Gills and Shinetta and those on YouTube. That's how we communicate with the guests. We use the press one. But did y'all was y'all informed with this presentation? If so, press one, hit the thumbs up and share for me. With that, I got my brother D-Red. I got my brother Cryptonomics in the building. Let's go one at a time. D-Red, can we keep it short? I got 15 minutes. I got to go get the babies. With that,
Yeah, what it do, man? Yeah, man. Good presentation, man. Like I said, dude, Goose is cooked, man. At this particular point, anybody that's supporting the cat after this, man, he kind of looking kind of foolish at this point. Mr. Harker played the video. I heard it this morning on the Tasha Pope channel. I sent to Harker the link to that. So just in case he needs to use it, I know he had the video. You know what I'm saying? But
matter of fact, I will say this: 3 people sent me the video at one time. I was man, what was I doing this morning, man? 3 people sent me the video one time, and I contemplated, I thought about it, and you sent me, and I thank everybody, Miss Monumental, and you, my brother Issa, Mahdi. I mean, everybody, man, that contribute to Moorish World TV. I humbly thank you, because I'm gonna take what you give me, and I'm gonna present it in the best light, my brother D-Red.
yeah, I know, man. Like I said, man, anybody supporting him after this, man. I mean, I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but man, you have ass retarded. You know what I'm saying? At this point, because you heard it from the judge. You heard it's this was just a hearing. You see what I'm saying? It's supposed to be just probably a bond hearing, because because the extra charges was added. They were trying to add to his bond. But anybody that understand legal procedure, when they start getting specific about what they did, they dropped the sexual battery for a reason, because the girl couldn't qualify if he actually did anything sexual to her while she passed out. But the other stuff that they add, they can prove, because even he said he was dancing with her. This is his testimony. He said he was dancing with her, groping a girl. That's ludicrous, lascivious behavior. So out of his own testimony, so they gonna use that. So even if he just get caught with one count of that, he's going to jail. You know what I'm saying? The misdemeanor, he admitted to giving her alcohol. He's going to jail. So it's like you can't, even if you just get caught on one count, you're going to jail. But that's it, man.
I appreciate you, my brother. And again, you know, when we got breaking news, you send it to me. I'm going to make sure that I give a balanced assessment of it. And every time we give a balanced assessment, don't mean that we always going to agree with it. But I invite anybody to disqualify my assessment. But I think I'm spot on this one, D-Red. Appreciate you, bro. Let me get to who else I got here. The Argument League. What's up? What's up, the Argument League? You was live today with this, wasn't you, brother?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, because you know the way I set my platform up, and peace to you, peace to your chat. The way I set my platform up is many gentlemen have my manager. So Taz Exclusives did a video from there today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be live in a minute. So yeah, it was because you know we went down to Florida. Me, my girl Taz, and Nada, we went down to Florida, actually sit in the courtroom. And although I had to leave yesterday, they still down there, so they went to the court this morning. So they updated our audience to that this morning.
That's good, man. I'll be on the next go around, man. I had unfortunately a passing in the family, which was my son's mother. So you know, I was planning to go, but you know, I had to take family first, then to head out there. But from this point on, man, I'm gonna be trying to make all these things and bring the real to the people. You follow me?
Absolutely, and my condolences to you and your son. I'm sorry for that. And
yeah, my brother.
For sure. I heard you had a bad break on buying a vehicle too. That's
bro, that
crazy,
was crazy,
bro.
But it's up and running now. Now I'm going to, once I get it inspected, I'm going to we're gonna put the wrap on it, man, and we're gonna get busy. You follow me?
Okay, that's what's up, man. And yeah, I appreciate the what's name. I just want to let you know, because I know you got 15 minutes ago. I just want to, you know, say stop. I don't deal with echo chambers, and I don't deal with people who brown nose. If you just and I know I respect how you run your panel, and I'm not saying you do this, but when people expect for you to only let people who agree with you comment, stay in the chat, That
Thank
shows
you,
some
brother.
type of character, bro.
Thank you,
And,
brother.
and just because people address things don't mean they dissing them. People can address things about people. It don't mean I don't like the dude, or I don't rock with him, or I'm trying to defame him or something. You can't just run with that, bro. We gotta be mature, bro. We grown in this thing. If I do something and Tahar can say, why is Swab, if it get to that, they say something about Swab, I ain't gotta be like, oh, we beefing now because you brought me up in a manner that I didn't appreciate.
And that's the thing, Swab. I think we need to get to the point, especially on social media. If we can get to the point to disagree and maybe get to the point where we can qualify our disagreement, where it's a yay or nay, I think we'd be in a better place. But many people want to disagree with one another and then start talking crazy mumbo jumbo conscious community. I'm gonna start calling it conscious community mumbo jumbo, where it's just filibuster talk that really not definitive about anything that's been addressed.
Yeah. That's it.
About anything that's addressed. It's just mumbo jumbo. That don't even make sense. Like, we need to get away from that, and we need to let and another thing I think we need to do is and excuse my expression, I got to say it like it is, let the dummies hang together and let the intelligent people roll together. Leave the dummies alone. I'm sorry. We're to that point now. Like, we so much behind the 8 ball. We ain't got the time to try to nurse the like when you look at like on the Serengeti, right? And you look at the wild the gazelles, they're running, and the lion is looking for the sick one. You know what I'm saying? Now, those that's trying to get away, they can't really focus on the sick one at that time. Now, once they get their position, they look back, and then you get a few that'll break out of the line and go try to save the sick one. You know what I'm saying? We have sick people in our community. We're trying to get from behind the 8 ball, and we keep on addressing these sick people in our community. Let us get from behind the 8 ball and then assess the situation and then go back and save the sick. Let the intelligent get out from behind the 8 ball first. That's where I'm at today. You follow me, bro?
Fact, big bro, and I'm a relinquish it, man. Yeah, that's just it, man. So don't sit up here and cause this division, because it's like The Godfather is one of my favorite movies. They say every so many years a cleansing happens, where something big happens and everybody has to react, pick a side, or express how they feel about it, and people will cause a division. You see what I'm saying? But it's just a cleansing. We get to see who's standing where on certain topics, and that's what this is done, man. So shout out to you and your platform, man. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to the chat, Black Power, and peace to the family, man. You already know.
Peace out, my brother. I appreciate all that you do on social media. Y'all need to subscribe to the Argument League. I slide through there all the time and check out things. I can't stay long because I'm so busy, but I like the content, my brother. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
With that being said, I got my brother Jeff. Oh, let me get Miss Monumental first. Miss Monumental, are you there? Miss Monumental, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Miss Monumental, did you send me an email this morning?
I did. Thank
you serious.
So
I thank you so much. I thank you so much. And I would love to help you promote your platform, because you are one of the first ones that matter of fact, between you, I'm gonna tell you, my brother Issa Madi, he kind of woke me up. I was trying to roll and get my son at school, and my mind was all over the place. And man, he hit me kind of early. Then next thing I looked at my email, then you hit me. So how you doing? Just talk to me.
I'm good. I don't think you need to appear on December the 3rd, even if your vehicle is running, because it's a status hearing, and it's probably going to be via Zoom as well. So you could take your time. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush to Miami. You got time.
You're there, right?
Yes, and I am a paralegal, and my degrees are on the wall. I don't have to.
Sis, I'm emailing you tonight because I want you to see.
Here they go. Associates in Arts, Paralegal Studies, American Bar Association approved. Associates in Arts for pre-law. But I just want to show you. And they're from Day College. Yes, I did go. You could call them all you want.
So, sis,
whatever.
Are you available Saturday or Sunday night?
Yes.
Now, sis, I want to ask you. I am not a paralegal, and because I'm a moral, people think I know law. I don't know law. I know common sense. You feel what I'm saying?
And you do a good job of expressing it.
Yeah, I just know common sense. You know, as soon as you say you're more, people be calling me, I got 25 years in prison. Can you get me out? Man, you need an attorney. I don't.
Right. So I am the people's paralegal. I did not go to law school.
And I'm the people's grand sheik.
Right. I was offered by attorneys that I have worked for in the past. Unfortunately, I'm very much a us versus them type of individual. So I know that the legal system is very much against us in so many ways. I couldn't agree to get a bar card and be a member of that. So what I do, I don't need like help to boost my thing because honestly, I'm not really a YouTuber. My work is on the ground. But I do help people. So what happens is they go and they pay 30,000, 40,000 to an attorney who sold them a lot of lies while they were sitting in the county, and then they come home and they say, "Oh no, just plead out to this." So I'm the paralegal that will sit with them at the attorney's office and say, "No, file this motion, file that motion." So attorneys hate me, but they understand, that I do what I do. I do my work for the people. I've been on both sides of the law. I have a very serious issue regarding my parent, and I had to be on one side of the law for that. And then I had a very serious issue with my godbrother cousin, and I had to be on the other side of the law for that. So I understand both sides. I'm not just defending people out here, keeping them off the street, and I'm not gung-ho putting our brothers in jail. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? So I just do want to clarify that. But I did want the people to know from an educated perspective that these things are public. You can pay, everybody can watch, pay attention, whatever, if you want, show up if you want, but when it comes to understanding it, no, it's okay to go in the law library. You know what I'm saying? Stick your head in the book, do what you do, research, call attorneys, get a free consultation if you need questions. So, do those things that work for yourself because these attorneys are not going to work for you. I did mention this to another person. Shout out to Kev Gills because he be on it. He's been on it for years, exposing a lot of these people. Trust me. Yeah. So what I was explaining was that, this type of case with these charges, think about it. The first two charges are punishable by death. To meet that high burden, that attorney will have to fill in.
And I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. That's what I want to bring you on about because I wasn't clear on and see how easy I'm gonna say this. I wasn't clear on the penalties of each charge. That's why I said approximately it could be possibly around 50 years because I wasn't clear. You understand what I'm saying? And these people in the conscious community, when they're not clear on something, they're embellish and make it a fact. To them and to their audience. And so I would love to bring you on so you can break down that as well as the system in Miami-Dade because all systems are not alike. I know that I could represent myself in some type of
capacity.
Yeah, in Baltimore. But now if I was in Miami, I would be a fish out of water. And now the principle of law is the same, but different locations, they operate a little bit differently. I would love to have you on.
Absolutely. No, what I was trying to explain, what I was mentioning before, and two things. That $100,000 quote unquote, he thought and imagines that he has put up to come against content creators, commenters, whatever. If his lawyer even assumed he had a whiff of that 100,000 because he already waived a speedy trial on Wednesday, that lawyer can drag this out to eat every penny because he's going to save his freedom before he's going to attack a content creator. Number one, content creators, do not be afraid. The $100,000 will be eaten up just trying to keep him out here in the streets if he had it. Now, number two, YouTube chose my thumbnail when unfortunately I still have a video up of him, which I believe he's subliminally hinting to his, nastiness 3 weeks after this incident to King Simon. And part of that video that he was streaming had his child's face on it. Now, I'm not a YouTuber. I just found out today that I have to download a whole nother app just to change the thumbnail on the first one because I didn't want his child's face up there, but it was part of his live stream. YouTube chose to put it up there. I felt that was wrong. I went and figured out how to change it, but now his face is up there. So content creators, please don't be afraid. He's not coming after you. And I've been in civil proceedings. When you want to come at someone for anything, you have to open yourself up.
Absolutely.
And I don't think he wants to open up himself because he is doing years and years and years of trying to hide and cover and scramble to not be the person who he really is. You know what I mean? By putting his wives and using other people's PayPals and this and that and his quote unquote friends. So he's not gonna open himself up to that. It'll make him like a voodoo doll where you can put pins and everything and make them jump and make them do that. He's not going to want to do that. But let him threaten it, because a lot of people don't understand that. The last thing I wanted to say was, you had a previous guest on here who did take advantage of your platform. We were all watching, and I've been out from day one. I called your show the very first time I seen it, and I just wanted people to ask those questions that you were asking. You say this, explain. You say that, make it add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't beat around the bush, make it add up. But what I did note that he said out his own mouth is, when he goes to jail in Florida, we type people don't rock with them type people. You understand? There's a lot of people behind them bars. There's a lot of people on this YouTube and running the streets. We don't rock with those type of people, point blank period. I don't care how much drugs you might have sold. I don't care if you stole, robbed banks. I don't care. When you go to hurting women, children, elderly, things like that, people, their lives, nah, now we have a problem. You understand? That's not a victimless crime. That is a victim crime, and that is full of untold victim stories. So she speaks out. That mother speaks out for a lot of mothers who didn't have the heart, who probably regret not coming forward. So we need to all wrap our, spirit, our arms around her, and, congratulate her, big her up, because I know for a fact we all know somebody who did not speak up in defense of the kid, or who knows there's a Chester molester in their family and haven't kicked them out the family, or haven't blasted them or outed them. So to say all that, I just want you to know that, yes, us type people don't hang with them type people. So your previous host, he was them type people, because they don't have friends unless they're them type of friends. You know what I'm saying? Friends who see what you're doing and turn their blind eye, or see what you're doing and want to get down. One of the two. You know what I'm saying? We're not those type of friends. So, defend the righteous men in your family. Stand up for those men. And when you see those weak or predator type men, put your foot on them, put your boots on them, get your hands on them, get them up out of here. Don't let them feel safe to be dating or talking to nobody's young teenage daughter.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Princess, let me say this. Have you ever, because you are in the field where a lot of double talking can happen, have you experienced people double talking and you let them double talking to a point and then you say, hold up, enough is enough, I'm done?
Of course, because you have to play a fool to catch a fool.
And that's what just happened on the past few weeks. I just let it flow until I'm like, is this what it is? Like, yeah, this is what it is. This
what?
It is.
Will I say he did it before? Will this lady say Polight did it before? Polight, yes, I have it on my page. He's guilty. I don't care. I don't want to hear what nobody says. If I
agree, sis.
I have boys, and if I had daughters, it doesn't matter. Anybody takes my child from where they're not supposed to take my child, you're guilty of everything my child came home and said you did. You understand? If I said, listen, the Fontainebleau, I explained this on one community earlier. The Fontainebleau is a very big hotel. There are 2 towers. There are several restaurants. There are several pools. If that mother said, okay, I'm gonna hurry up and get ready, just take her downstairs to get something to eat, or okay, you can take her to get something to eat downstairs, that's a big property. You don't have to go anywhere. And it's a hotel. Food is 24/7 somewhere available, even if it's room service. So, I mean, anybody who takes the child away from the mother, which it's not on his docket yet, but they are going to add that taking of the child away from the parent, like the DA said. So anytime a person takes your child away from you, if your child comes back and says anything, throw the book at them, because that's not what was supposed to happen. I don't care if you're my uncle, nephew, neighbor. If you take my child and my child comes back in a condition saying anything to me, you're wrong. You're dead wrong, because you was only supposed to take that child. If that was the case, I don't know. But the Fontainebleau is big. It's not like no Holiday Inn or something where you just go to the lobby. It's a very big hotel. You can get lost if that's the first time you stayed there, or, as a 14-year-old trying to get to wherever the food is. But nonetheless, like I said, I big up that mother, because I know there's mothers out here who just told their kid, oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it, or go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And still rocked out with that boyfriend, husband, or whatever. So big ups to her. And big ups to you, Tahaka, for busting that video down, because the community, if y'all going to try to find anything, any type of way to defend this man, please, by all means, put yourself in that mother's position, put yourself in that child's position, and ask yourself, would you want people defending him, defending that person who did it to you?
And last but not least, sis, I love your commentary. Last but not least, do you know people was like, oh, they redirecting the focus from putting it on me to avoid Polight. That's what people were saying. I think in our community, and I'm not saying conscious or whatever, in our community, what we should be doing is we should make sure that we have concrete evidence before we present it to the people. And that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for we can get everything that we can get up to date in order to present it, as opposed to jumping the gun and giving an assessment for the sake of a view. You follow me?
I understand. And the case was coming up. It wasn't like it's months away. The case is a couple weeks away, weeks away. It's okay to have other discussion amongst this. But yeah,
Absolutely.
wait until he faces like he did today and put his ugly face on that camera, and wait until he faces us so we can say, yep, see what you charged with. Because if we was in the courtroom, we would be doing the same thing. Point, yep, that one right there, him. Don't point at no other defendant. It was that one. You know what I'm saying? So by all means, wait, do the right thing by waiting, not jumping the gun. And still, you did the right thing by talking about who's around him, because like I said, it's us versus them. We don't hang with them type people. We don't hear that you're dating your stepdaughter and think that we're going to just rock out with you. We don't keep our daughter away and be like, well, because you like little girls, let me keep my daughter away from the situation. Or you like dressing your little daughters grown, let me keep my daughter away, but I'm going to still rock out with you. Only people who is accepting, complicit, that word been going around. Only people who are okay with whatever the hell you do is going to rock out with you. Because if one of my friends went out here on the street like Aminette and handed out flyers and called themselves the highest class escort, guess what? I'm not going to the mall with her. I'm not going to the club with her. That's what she does. That's not what I do. You know what I'm saying?
That was the bomb, sis. That what they were doing?
Well, they were handing out flyers and scantily clad clothing in high-end shopping malls in LA. So if you're anybody who's in this community already knows, if your queen ain't rocking 3/4, then you're off, because you're allowing that. So if you're bringing your wives, like they had said before, to all the events, looking like they wanted to take people out the event that didn't come with them, you understand what I'm saying? Like that type of, I'm not going to assume I didn't buy her services, but I'm just going to say, if that's what y'all doing, you wouldn't catch a female like me rocking with you. I wouldn't. You couldn't even really much call me unless it's business, because I'm not going to hang with you. We're definitely not going to participate in none of those flyer scams. We're not going to participate in anything together. You don't use my PayPal for none of your tricks or whoever. Like, no, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Keep that away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all already know this. Hey, sis, give me an internet name or something.
Monumental.
Miss Monumental.
Yes.
Monumental Enterprise. Monumental. Sis, I'm emailing you tomorrow, sis, and we're gonna see.
No problem. I'm sorry. I am very passionate about this, because I am that kind of. I'm a godmother of 7 plus a mother of 2. I don't play about kids. I don't. I really don't.
I appreciate you, sis. Let me get the other callers in before I gotta go. Thank you, sis.
Yeah.
Let me get my brother Jeff. Brother Jeff been waiting for a minute. Brother Jeff, are you available?
Yes, sir.
What's up, my brother? Talk to me. What's happening?
Islam, GS.
Islam. Talk to me.
Hey, man. You know, a guy like Polight, right? He goes to court. He leaves court. This is the narcissistic mentality that he knows how to play on other minds. Okay, so he goes and says that charges have been dropped. Now, the general public, like you said, not going to do the research. They're going to believe what he say. But thanks to Morris World TV, we have the truth. And I just want to tell you, brother, I've been rocking out with you since day one. I remember the time when you went to Sarnetta and you had your oldest son with you.
Yeah.
That's the first time I think you met Sarnetta at that time. And I was like, who is this guy? I like your spirit. You know what I mean? You were funny, you was charismatic. I like your spirit. But this channel right here, man, there's a time in the universe right now where all truth have to come out. This is where we at. And I'm a spiritual person. So all truths have to come out. And this channel right here, let me tell you something, man. You knocking them in. You, like we say in the Nation of Islam, we knock out knock out falsehood until they knock his brains out. That's what we say. And brother, that's what you doing. You going hard. And I'm going to support you to the end. And I'm in the New York area. You come in the New York area, holler at me, man. Holler at me, man. Let's hang out, have some lunch or something, man.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. And shout out to my brothers at NOI. And this is what I want to tell people. Do you know one of the only groups that I intellectually had disagreement with, but we are still brothers and friends, is the NOI?
Right, because we understand.
You know why? Everybody else that I have a difference of historical account or intellectual agreement, they think we want to fight and kill each other.
We understand.
My brother, who I did a debate with, let me see, if I could, I got one to give him a shout out too. Let me look it up real quick. He just sent me an email, today, if I'm not mistaken, sending his condolences. Man, First Start Media. You remember First Start Media?
No.
Let me see. Let me pull it up. First Start Media on YouTube. I got to give him a shout out. Got to give him a shout out. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Man, I can't find it real quick. But let me see if I can. I ain't gonna give. I'll be remiss if I don't do it. So I'm gonna see if I can pull this up real quick. Man, I can't pull it up, man. But this is my brother, man. We had a debate one time about something about NOI and Morris Science or something like that, and he got mad and got off the channel and you know what I'm saying? But we still remained in communication. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he just sent me, I said, Fresh Start. He just sent me a condolences to my son's mother. And man, you know, I just wanted to point out the fact that many of us, when we have a disagreement of any type, First Work Media, that's what I wanted to say. Warren Muhammad. Warren.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shout out to Warren Muhammad, man.
Right.
And we had that debate about, it was something to do with NOI, Morris Science. I forget. You know what I mean? We go through these conversations and whatever, and I move on. It ain't that serious to me. You my brother, regardless of what you believe. I don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? You might think me wearing a fez is goofy. I don't know, but you still my brother, and I'm still wear my fez, and you're gonna still wear your
bow tie.
It is what it is. And so I want to give a shout out to my bro Warren Muhammad. I received your message. He said you have my sincere condolences for your loss and your son's loss. May Allah bless your son with comfort and peace and the light of understanding. Warren Muhammad, assalamu alaikum. And this is where I want us to get to, my brother Jeff, where even if we have an intellectual agreement, we still walk away as brothers.
Right.
Respectfully.
Right. Because I'm not your enemy.
We got an enemy.
We got a common, we have something in common. We have a common enemy, but I'm not your enemy.
We definitely got an enemy.
Right. We understand that.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, my brother.
All right, brother. I want to hold you up. I'll see you later on tonight. I'll be listening.
Yes, indeed, my brother. Peace and love.
Salam.
So let me get your hands out my pocket, and then I'm gonna get Crip and get him out of here. Crip, where you at, Crip? You there? Get your hand out my pocket. Where you at?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Hey, bro, stand by for 1 second. Stand by for 1 second.
I'm with you.
Get your hand out my pocket here. Then I gotta go get the babies. Where you at? Get your hand out my pocket.
I'm here, brother.
Hey, bro, don't you attack me right now. Everybody who came through has been talking some good. Then don't you throw no bananas and tomatoes at me tonight. Today.
I know you see my comments. You keep good connection with people who comment on your live stream, people who comment on the post video. So I know I'm an opposer. But
yeah. What you got for me, brother?
All right, so brother, as I have left comments before, and you and the brother just mentioned enemy. I know the brother is still listening. I just stepped down. I just stepped down from my post, convener of Justice at Elsa of Albany, New York, and I work closely with the NOI. And as a matter of fact, one more organizing people or NOI members, and the brother can verify that for you. So I'm speaking for someone who's on the ground in the movement, attack, killer cops, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? In the few years that I've been involved. And so I'm always about empowerment. And I've been watching your show, and I'll start with this. I will give you kudos for taking down Jam Master Jay, because he was someone who was in his state and could have quite possibly got a lot of brothers killed. So I'll give you that.
Right.
But as I've left comments before, and you've had your discussions with Brother Sarnetta, it seemed that it got a little zealous there, and that sub count went up, and that view count went up, and it got good to you. And then you even played to it with the Jerry Springer thing and soundbite, because we kind of seen. Go ahead,
brother. As you explained it, give me some examples like how I played into it.
All right, so
then let me respond.
Absolutely. All right, so Jam Master Jay thing, you went at that thing hard. Now he got a whole army of people. They got guns. So if exposure need to be done, then it need to be done, because you're talking about armed brothers. You're talking about the United States government watching very closely. So if this dude is an op, we need to know about it. All right, fine and dandy, okay. But then it continued with first lieutenants, soldiers, those on the periphery, women coming in having whole relationships with guys, and then it got gossipy, and then it went to straight gossip. You see what I'm saying? You dealt with the formations. You dealt with the people who said, yo, I was at Stone Mountain, I'm security, everything in and out. That was great. Then it went to the gossip thing. The sister in the hotel with the brother, she having sex with him, she leaving that out, they having a whole relationship, she beating him up and all this other craziness. Had nothing to do with nothing or the movement, because they wasn't doing nothing. They were just kind of having some type of weird relationship, and it kind of went from there. And so every video became, let's deal with this individual that's possibly in the movement, the Panther Party, or somewhere else, and let's take them down. Now I'm the spirit of Khalid Muhammad. I go after the devil. People don't fuck with me. Excuse my language. I don't want to curse on you there, but people don't mess with me because I go after the enemy so hard.
Can I respond to that real quick?
Go ahead.
Real quick, just so we don't get drawn up. Well, as I was saying when I was covering Grandmaster Jay, I was saying it's the gift that keep on giving. What that meant is that every time you turn around, something else would drop in my lap. I was not looking for this stuff. Many people reached out to me. I did pre-interviews, and I said, well, this shows that, as I'm talking about the attorney mentality of the attorney who represent Brother Polight, I begin to allow these interviews so we can look inside of the thinking of those who was a part of this supposedly liberation organization and all things that it encompasses. But the mind state of a lot of people who were supposed to be a part was not a liberated mind in the first place. So what I would do is I will allow not only what you would call Jerry Springer-ish type to the show, but I call it sensationalism, which is good for YouTube without a doubt. However, there is a lesson that I always teach on the back end of any video that I do, whether people catch it or not. Now, also, there's victims that have been, I guess, these people was predators. So when you look at people like Black Hourglass, who didn't know that the second in command was using the position of NFAC and his profession as a photographer to just sleep with anybody and everybody, you know what I'm saying? I think that's worthy to be heard. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at Mommy Goddess, who came on later and said that, that the guy had herpes and they passing it around, I think that shows the mentality of the people who claim they fighting for freedom or on the front line for freedom. And you being on the front line and watching this thing play out, it would give you more information to assess those who may demonstrate these qualities and claim that they want to come and fight with you for freedom, which in fact, the way I hear you talk in the militant sense, that you wouldn't even accept these type of characters. And so you may be able to sift it out. But for social media and those who want to step on the front line and watching Moorish World TV, they might get a better assessment of what to look for, or they might get a better measure of what to look for when these type of people show up. So it looks goofy to a lot of people, but for some people, it's like, whoa, I thought they was about quote unquote black liberation. I thought they was about black power. This is what they doing. So all things is relative. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes. Absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing my children. But yeah, absolutely. I understand that, getting into the the hearts and minds of individuals that say that they're fighting for freedom. They can use almost anything. Brothers have always used any type of knowledge, skill set, or whatever to acquire women, you know, and I say thank God for a brother still trying to be heterosexual, because we know about that movement that is very aggressive towards us, but that we're not dealing with. And I guess that's where my mindset is that those who have those strong channels, you have your viewer count is going up, your sub count is going up, people respect you, they honor what you're trying to do. And so it is incumbent upon, I talk about getting the code, Brother Tariq Nasheed talks about getting on code, Neely Fuller talks about getting on the code and taking out these very things that are harming our community on a very high level. We got the vaccines going on, you know, we have all these different things that are occurring, and we're spending an enormous amount of time on Brother Polight. Now, I'm not a fan of Brother Polight. If he go down, have him go down. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no difference to me. Now, I know he's a buzz name, and because he said it himself, that because he's debated so many different people and watched them or whatever have you, that he believes that these people are now enemies of him, and they love the fact that he's going down. You see, it's not even about him or us protecting the children, but it's about him going down. They love to see him go down. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
If I can respond to that, I've been talking periodically about Polight far before this case, way before this case. From the first time that he swindled somebody in Baltimore, I've been talking about Polight. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing, get your hand out of my pocket. You can't expect every YouTuber to focus on the same concepts just because we consider that's being on code. So if every YouTube channel in our community will focus on the shot, what type of interest would that have? That'll be redundancy. And this is why I say I'm not going to make videos about Sinetta or anybody else unless they attack me, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's worthy to report. Let me add that caveat. It got to be worthy to report, because it becomes redundant at some point. You feel what I'm saying? So we got my channel has been, if you go all the way back, my channel has always been about producing receipts as it relates to misinformation and to out those who try to mislead us within our community. That's been my lane, whether it's been with the Moorish of the sovereign persuasion, whether it's been with the Moorish in the temples, whether it's been a Sinetta coming at the Moors, or even Grandmaster Jay, or even Polight. My channel has always been about looking at those amongst us who have been misleading us. That's the lane that I've created. And so many people are just being caught up. And I'm going to show you another thing too. Many people that subscribe to my channel today, because what they see in the receipts that I produce, they go back and watch the former videos from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it's the same process. It's the same process, and people are commenting on them and enjoying those 2-year-old videos as if I just put it out today, because it's the same process. I put out the receipts and I allow the people to see the evidence and the proof. As many people are just getting caught up, and I thank the new subscribers for getting caught up, but I've been doing this same process for years. It has nothing to do with Polight.
Yes, sir. And I'm not saying you specifically in terms of in regards to Polight, because many people have been doing the knowledge on Brother Polight for a very long time. I heard the story about the brother in Baltimore, which was stupid, because we know we have riders down there in Baltimore, and it would make sense.
I can get him on the phone right now, man. Good goodness. Yes, sir, brother.
Yes, I went to school in North County High School outside, just outside of Baltimore. It's in Glen Burnie County, and I knew some brothers that lived out in Cherry Hill back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I know. Come on now. So I know how it would get down. It would make sense to have brothers like that on your team so they can ride for you. But his mental mind is to scam and get money wherever he can. Now, if people would have dealt with him, then that would have been the one less enemy of the state that would have been gone. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what I mean to I guess to I won't say go back at your point, but I know brothers have been doing, like I said, doing the knowledge on Polight for a very long time. I say that being on code and dealing with this. So say we just use the jab, because you use the jab. If everybody's dealing with the jab, more and more of our people, right? And this is my perspective. More and more of our people would know about this vaccine, think more about it, and then come up with a strategy. Because we don't, as a Black collective, have a strategy about how to deal with said thing. Because we're talking about everything else but that. I'm just using that as an example. We can use anything if we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So if we use this particular topic right now, like pedophilia, okay, so we're dealing with pedophilia. Let's deal with it in the community. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna get the brothers from the Moors. We're gonna get the brothers from the Hebrews. We get the brothers from the NOI. We're gonna start championing stuff. We're gonna have committee. We're gonna have our own judge, jury, and executioner. We decide to execute. Don't nobody know why they execute. You know what I'm saying? It just disappeared. You feel what I'm saying?
So check this out. I'm planning to get your hand out my pockets. If you email me at taharkabay@gmail.com, I'm planning to try to have a conference in New York, right? I don't know where you at this day and time. Have a conference in New York so we could try to sit down and do something like that. I don't think this need to be done on the internet, though. I think we need to have boots on the ground. We got to stop using internet as the soapbox. I think the internet is going to be, as I said all the time, it's going to be partially entertainment, partially inspiration, and partially education. It is going to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? But when we get on the boots on the ground where people are taking the time out of their day, they have to get in their car, they have to spend their money, they have to come out, they got to listen, and they got to sign up to be there. That's a different type of sacrifice as opposed to looking at your phone and hearing people just talk all day. And then we see who show up.
Exactly. And so we have thousands of people watching, but who's going to show up when names is called? The brothers say many are called, few are chosen. And
that's what I'm saying, bro. So we'll see. Let me get my other call in, brother. I appreciate you, brother. If you email me, brother, we could put you on the list, man, so we can try to connect and get together on the ground, because that's where the real work is at. You follow me?
No doubt.
Appreciate you, my brother. Peace and love. Crip, come on, Crip. I got a little time, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Man, I guess I gotta go live tomorrow so we can look at the updated thing and get the sister on, brother. But what's happening, big bro?
What's up? What's up, bro? What's up? You know, I got a few things to say, because you know, a lot of people come on here that want to start talking, tell you what you got to talk about, tell you what you're talking about, tell you that you're gossiping. You know, we don't go in on it because you ain't gossiping. You did the NFAC thing, right? And I think a lot of people want to say it was gossip, but the only reason they could probably say it's gossip is because they didn't go to the police. But at the same time, a lot of those women was used, a lot of those women was abused, a lot of them even felt guilty for the stuff that happened to them and didn't go to the police. You know, but at the end of the day, you know what they did do? They came to you. They came to your channel. They came to your channel with the receipts. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the people heard, and that's what the people saw, so it doesn't happen to someone else. So get out of here with all this gossip YouTube stream. You ain't doing that. We know you ain't on that. So I want to get to my points though with this stream. Is these people keep saying that the charges was dropped. These charges wasn't dropped. All they did was put these to the side, because you know what? Something could come up later where they can use those charges. Something could come up, but they said they downgraded them, right? And even though they downgraded them, guess what? They still all sexually assault related charges.
That's right.
So you know, so y'all capping. Everybody talking about that they was removed. It don't matter if they was removed. The ones that pop right up is still sexually related. So, you know, and then the one with a sexual battery, that's considered rape. And I think the reason they did downgrade is because there may not have been evidence showing rape, but there is evidence showing the lewd and lascivious acts. So, you know, to me, I think they got a real strong case in downgrading those charges like that and getting a conviction. And on the last note though is the misdemeanor. Everybody's looking over the misdemeanor.
Yeah. And
if they can prove Polight or that young girl has some drugs or some alcohol or something like that, or they got him at the store buying something for this little girl, and she is 14, everybody. If they can prove something like that he gave that to her, it's over and done with. It's over and done with. And that's just a misdemeanor. The misdemeanor gonna prove the bigger charges, because she would have been incapacitated at that point in his what do you want to say, you know, just in his presence at that point in the hotel. So
absolutely.
Hey, you know,
somebody said this is sad to see our men talk with no action to prove results. Where is y'all results in the community within the last 15 years? It's all about email me and I can show you some results in my community with the best I could work with and with the best I could do. Email me to arkabay@gmail.com. Just because we don't try to highlight what we do in the community on YouTube, that doesn't mean that community work isn't being done.
Right.
A lot of these YouTubers and our community, as you can see, people disagree with Sinetta and they went to damage his property. They tore the bumper off his car. I don't think anybody deserves to have their property damaged because of an opinion. Even if now if he swindled somebody and they trying to get retribution, maybe, I don't know, that would be a response. But I don't agree with anybody damaging people's property. I don't believe with anybody assaulting anybody for the sake of an opinion, and if you do work on the ground, you will understand that to keep that work sacred on the ground, it's not for a YouTube showcase, whereas though people of no substance can try to ridicule, tear down, or even in my case, sometimes even call the city of Baltimore on me for some works that I was doing in Baltimore because they disagree with me on YouTube. So it's good to separate those uplifting acts in your community, maybe give people a glimpse of it, but don't try to express it in full, because we got sick people in our community that will try to sabotage all your support that will go towards the uplifting people. YouTube is a joke to a lot of these people, and they get mad at you and they will sabotage you. And by the way of sabotaging you on the ground, they will sabotage the beneficiary of your good works. So I don't put all my good works on YouTube as it relates to on the ground. You follow me? But with that being said, Crip, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, and that's on point, man. Because I'm doing the same community work. But a lot of time people want to see documents and proof that you're doing community work. Community work is a lot of time volunteer work. You don't get no certificate for that. And a lot of time it falls under a thankless job. A lot of times. And I know, man, because I've been doing it for the last decade. And it is what it is.
I got a fender bender. Like ain't nobody messing with
Yeah, ain't nobody messing with him, man. He out there trying to get sympathy, man.
And shout out to Akhenaten. Happy Holy Day, brother Akhenaten Salam Bey, the assistant national representative of the Moore Science Temple of America. And he sends a happy solar return to Emiliel, the only appointed assistant. I said assistant, the only appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And all these people call themselves that, claim that they're connected to him, which is false and don't make sense anyway. But Crip, before I let you go, Crip, because you put me on point, I got to share this and we got to discuss this in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Now, this is for my brother YK the Truth that was saying that I lied and the bond wasn't changed or the charges were, I don't know what YK was saying, but to his point, as you can see, this is the docket right here. The bond is total $46,000 now. You follow me? Motion to increase bond has been granted. Motion for stay away order filed, all set. There was no ruling at 10:30. However, right beneath that, we see that the stay away order pre-trial is conditional. So what that would mean is that there is conditions in the pre-trial order to stay away from the minor. We just don't know the details as of yet. You see what I'm saying? It's definitely in place, as you can see.
Well, the judge said if he does anything online, then you go straight to the slammer. That's part of your condition right there.
Yeah, those are the conditions right there. Those are the conditions right there. And so, hold up. So for those who think, I don't want anybody to ever mistake Moorish World TV with simply just putting out bogus information. I got a good team. Shout out to Crip, shout out to Issa, shout out to Miss Monumental, Sean and Maymuna, Faith, and all of the good people that drop videos in our back chat. It's just phenomenal. We just don't put out bogus information. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
We just don't. Everything we put out can be qualified and anybody can go find. It is what it is.
Yeah, and with that said, I just want to say, hey, to the chat, thumbs up the vid, put it out in the algorithms. People need to hear this, people need to see it. And hey, another one for the books, bro. I'm out.
Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. So, family, I got to get out of here myself. I got to go get the baby. Man, it's 4:46. I didn't mean to go this long, but hey, it's all worth it at the end of the day, family, because we getting right. You know what I'm saying? And I already told you, I'm gonna be the more you gonna remember whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the more you gonna remember. Happy Holy Day to all Muslims all over the world. Let's get it, family.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more. I be that more you gon' remember.
My bad. I was saying that YK the Truth said I'm running. I got to go and get the babies. I gotta go get the babies. And shout out to my assist, E.L. Crisp L. Happy Holy Day. And she's from the city of brotherly love, where my brother, my friend, my Grand Sheik Akhenaten is from. But he's in the ATL, and he'll be over at the West End at Tassili's tonight hosting Holy Day meeting. And again, YK the Truth, you are welcome to come on anytime, bro. This is not a rhetoric show. Just bring your receipts. Bring your receipts, and you can have your word here on Morsh World TV. Anytime. To harkerbay@gmail.com. Let's get it.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe, and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for them people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my germ, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Morsh World, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Morsh World, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. Oh man, I'm muted again. I'm muted again. Let me do it again. My apology. I got to do it again. I want to give a shout out to Cryptonomics. He sends a cash app. He say, for a tip for A+ information. I want to give a shout out to Nolan Smart. He says, stay strong, OG. Let me see what he says. Stay strong, OG. We need you. That's my brother, Black Bruce Wayne. And I want to give a shout out to my brother Gibbs L. He said, for Big Bro. And then I want to Avante Wright. Thank you, Abu X, for cleansing throne. And last but not least, my friend M. Nugent. For those who hit the Cash App, I want to thank you because I said earlier and I'll say it again. I supposed to have been working, but I came to be with you to give you this information from my perspective with receipts. And so, guess what? Although I didn't go work the day, you have donated and made it even more worth the while to come here and spend time with you. And I appreciate you for that, digging into your hard-earned wages to share it with me and our platform. And I truly thank you. And I also want to thank my brother, the original people who constantly donate to the platform, and anybody else. If I failed to mention your name, I'm telling you, you really make this possible for me. And all of those who share, all of those who thumbs up, you're just as important because the information is here to save lives and to get people to start thinking critically in our community. That's what this platform is about. And although we use different specimens of let me say this, although we use different case studies or different scenario or things that's going on in the community, it's all about critical thinking. And I want to thank all of you, family, for supporting me because you give me the ability to really take time to pick this thing apart. I'm able to sit down comfortably and really pick it apart and bring it to you. So whether you share, whether you thumbs up, hit the Cash App or hit the Super Chat, I definitely thank you. And I give you my gratitude that you will share what the universal creator has given to you and your family, that you will share it with me. And I really do appreciate it. Real talk. You follow me? More you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European, how to bathe. And look at that women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills. I be that more you gon' remember, be more. I be that more you gon' remember, Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember, Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, LA. I be that more you gon' remember, New York. I be that more you gon' remember, Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my